Hi everyone, and welcome to MockCat, where you're going to be prepping with 99.9 plus percentilers to crack CAT, XAT, SNAP, or NMAT and get through an IIM or an other top B school. In this video, I'm going to explain all about the exams, the next steps, and all of the features and unique resources that you have access to here at MockCat, which is what is going to help you crack this exam and the final selection steps and get through. Now, I'm going to be talking more for the perspective of those of you who've taken up our MBA Unlimited or our classroom program. But even if you've taken up some other program or you've just registered on MockCat, hang around because I'm going to tell you about what are the resources that you will get as well. So what we're going to be covering today, and you will have chapters and timestamps for each. First, I'll explain what are the steps needed to get through these exams. And then we'll do a deep dive of the CAT exam itself. What is the syllabus? What are the marks you need to hit certain percentiles, of how it has been over the past? What are the minimums that you need to meet the sectional overall cutoffs and so on. And then we'll come to how you should prep. And I'm also going to give you a plan for the next few days so that you can start off. And for those of you who've not registered for any of these packs, but you've just registered on our site, I'll also talk about what are all the free resources that we have, which will help you. Now, when it comes to getting through an IIM or other top B school, first let's understand what is it that makes a top B school. So when it comes to top B schools, we're not looking at things like, NIRF ranking or anything, though the top ones, of course, will be high. But we're looking at what the market looks at as the best. What is it that, corporate companies are looking at? Where are you getting the best roles, senior designations, higher salaries? Because you are studying with some of India's best faculty, best students around you, and you're getting that experience. So on the MockCat side, what we've done is we've not ranked any institute, and it's not possible to do that also because if you ask me, IIM, ABC are all at par with each other. All three of them would sort of be considered to be number one, right? But what we've done is we've sort of put them as what are the best of the best, which is the A++ B schools where you have your Blackie, IIM Mumbai, FMS, SPGen, XLRI, SIBM, and so on, right? And then you have the next set where again you have, some IIMs, IITs, and a bunch of other B schools, NMIMS, and so on. So we obviously, we haven't made a comprehensive list of all the 5,000 plus B schools which are there, but these are the ones which I feel should be the maximum that you target. And I would definitely recommend everybody to have a really high target, maybe something like this or max till the A+ B schools. I do have a video explaining why, right? I mean, one thing which is very obvious is, of course, the salary difference, but along with that, there's a bunch of other reasons, right? And so I'll link that video as well if that helps you for motivation. So now for you to get through any of these B schools, the first thing which you need is to clear the entrance exam, right? And that could be CAT or it can be XAT, SNAP, NMAT. Typically, it's these national level exams, which is what is helping you to get through the top 10, top 20, top 50 B schools, right? And we're going to be coaching you for all of these 4 exams. Now, these exams happen in this November to Jan time. And once that is done, you're going to be getting the results. So for instance, in CAT, what happens is you're taking the exam in the last Sunday of November typically, and then in about a week, you're getting your response sheet. So you know what are your marks, how many right answers, wrong answers. In fact, once you get it, you'll be able to get your score and your sort of a, approximate percentile, a predicted percentile on our site itself. So you get an idea of where you stand. And then typically around December or Jan, you're going to get your actual scorecard, which will have your overall percentile, your sectional percentiles, your final marks after normalization and all of that. And then the institutes will start shortlisting you. And this process is what happens for all of these exams. Once you get those shortlists, of course, there'll be form filling and all of that. But then the next thing in your final selection process, and the most important thing, is the personal interview. So just as the entrance test is the most important for your initial shortlisting, typically IIMs and other B schools, the weightage for the CAT or similarly, whatever entrance test it is, the weightage is typically anywhere from 50 to 100%. Similarly, the personal interview becomes very important for your final selection because any manager, right, any MBA grad is going to work with other people within their company, outside clients, consultants. You're going to be working within teams, you're going to be leading teams, right? You're going to be a manager of people. So all B schools, all good B schools will have an interview with you to understand if you have what it takes to be a good manager. Along with the personal interview, there will be other processes. So IIMs and other B schools have what is called your written ability test. Sometimes you'll have a case write-up for some of the institutes. Like NM, then you have group exercise or group discussion. So symbiosis colleges, for instance, have the group exercise. Certain institutes will have other things like, say, there's extempore, which FMS, IIM Indore, IIM Rohtak and all conduct. So there'll be different processes. Personal interview is something which is common, and many IIMs have that, and many institutes have some or the other additional process as well. And at MockCat, we're going to be training you for this entire thing, right? But the most important thing that we're going to be focusing on is CAT. And reason for that is, if you look at the top B schools, you will see that other than say, ZAT for XLRI or SNAP for SIBM, most of the B schools, right, which are there in the top 20 are accepting the CAT exam, especially the IIMs, of course. So this becomes the single most important exam. And the other thing is, for all of these exams, the syllabus is somewhere around 80-85% similar. So when you're prepping for CAT, it's not that, you are ignoring the other exams. What you're prepping for CAT is actually going to help you for the other exams as well. So when it comes to CAT, one thing which I want to address before we get into the syllabus and the marks and all is, are you eligible for CAT and are you eligible to get into IIMs, right? So I've heard a lot of worries from students saying, oh, I'm a fresher, I don't have work experience, I don't have a great profile, my academics are weak, something like that. None of this is stopping you from CAT. There's a minimum, of course, which you need, which is that you need to be at least in your final year of graduation. Of course, you could have graduated and you could have been working for some time. That's perfectly fine. And your college scores need to be 50% or even 45% for certain categories, right? And along with that, are you ready for it? You know what is the other criteria? That's it, right? So if you are in your final year, which means that you're going to be graduating by the time you're going to be joining the B school, right? Or if you've already graduated, and if you have scored 50% in your college, that's it. Now, there are one or two colleges who will, want a little bit more, like 60% and all. But majority of B schools, the CAT eligibility is all that they consider. And there are some exams where they don't even have a minimum, right? So everybody has a chance. Sure, there are B schools where, they might give higher weightage to a CATs or they might even have a minimum. But there are also a lot of B schools, including more than 50% of the IIMs, where the weightage of the entrance exam is 100%. So you can see for yourself here, there are so many IIMs where it doesn't matter what your profile is, as long as you have that 50%, and if you get a good percentile, a good score in CAT, that's all that they are considering. The same thing happens for a bunch of other B schools. XLRI, they only consider your ZAT percentile, overall and sectional. NMIMS, they only consider your NMAT score, again, overall and sectional. Symbiosis colleges, they are only considering your overall SNAP percentile. There is no sectional percentile also, right? So no matter what weaknesses, what gaps, what you have, everybody has a chance when it comes to pursuing an MBA in the top B schools. I'm not saying that, there's this 50th or 100th B school that you are getting through, right? If you get a good SCAT score or a ZAT score or, hopefully more than one, you are getting calls from multiple top B schools. So how do we get there? How do we get calls? And again, looking at CAT, some basic details before we get into the syllabus. It's an online exam, which typically happens on the last Sunday of November. It's a more logical exam, it's an aptitude exam, and you will have a calculator. So there's nothing to memorize really, except maybe a few formulae. So there's no vocabulary, there's no calculation intensive questions. It's more logical, more reasoning oriented. The current format has 66 questions, 24 verbal questions, 20 DILR questions, and 22 quant questions. I'm going to get into detailed formats and all in the next slide. But know that most of these questions will be multiple choice questions, where if you get it right, you're getting +3, and if you get it wrong, you're getting a -1. Some will be what is called TITA, type in the answer, or short answer questions. You're not typing in words or sentences here. It will be just numbers that you're punching in. And here you get the same +3 for getting it right. But if you get it wrong, you get 0, right? There's no negative. But majority of the questions are going to be MCQs, where you're getting a +3 and a -1, right? That's the format. And notice another unique thing. If you look at your school exams, for instance, we would have had 2-mark questions, 5-mark questions, 8, 10-mark questions also. But here, every question, irrespective of the difficulty level, has the same marks if you get it right. Now, when it comes to B schools, we've been speaking about the top B schools. So the top B schools where you get 100% placements and your starting salary is at least a 10 to 12 lakhs per year, all the way, of course, upwards to 30 plus. The top 10 B schools, the average salary is upwards of 30 lakhs, right? 30 to 35. But all of these B schools, you're having at least 20,000 seats. And in fact, now at this time, it has actually gone up by a lot. So it'll be more than this. And why this is important is because as compared to other entrance tests, say, at the undergrad level or postgrad level, or for jobs, right, like UPSC and government exams and all, a lot of these are way more competitive, right? Now, when it comes to CAT is sometimes a little tougher than some of the other exams. Or similarly, national level MBA entrance tests, they could sometimes be tougher than, say, your government exams or something. But comparatively, the level of competitiveness is lower, right? So when you have 20,000 seats, you're having at the very least 30 to 40,000 people being selected, right? That is more than 10% of the 3 lakh odd people that are taking the CAT exam. So go in, you have a good chance, provided you are putting in the prep. And we at MOCAT are there to help you every step of the way, whether it is content or classes or doubts or PAT PI, all of it. You'll see that. But another thing which shouldn't stop you is Am I going to be able to afford it? Don't make a decision based on the fees. Most of the top B schools, IIMs and all, they will have fees of around 20 lakhs plus minus 5-6 lakhs, right? But top B schools, you are going to get 100% bank loans, but more than 100%, right? So it will not just cover your tuition fees, your living, your hostel fees, laptop. Should you want to go on student exchange for a term, that will be an added expense. So all of these gets covered, and you'll be getting reasonable in loan interest rates. No guarantor needed, no proof of income or anything. What is needed is the proof that you have got a call from an IIM or other top B school, right? So on that note, given that nothing else is stopping us, how do we make sure that we give our best and we actually crack this exam? Now, the CAT exam format, it's currently a 2-hour paper. 40 minutes for verbal, 40 minutes for DILR, 40 minutes for quant. You cannot shift between sections. So the first 40 minutes is going to be VARC only. Even if you're finishing the paper before time, you cannot go into the next section. You have to wait out that full 40 minutes. And you also cannot decide the order of the section. So it's going to be verbal, then DILR, then quant, right? So first section, verbal ability and reading comprehension, then data interpretation, logical reasoning, and then last is quantitative aptitude. So verbal is where you have the highest number of questions. There's 24 questions, and consistently in CAT what we've seen is it's split as 2/3 reading comprehension questions and 1/3 is your VA or your non-RC questions. So right now the format is there's 2 each: sentence insertion, odd one out, jumbled paragraphs, and summary. This format is something which came in CAT 23. It's widely expected to continue for CAT 24 also, but even if there are slight changes, what will probably not change is the number of reading comprehension questions or the format, right? 4 RCs with 4 questions each is actually a very good format in a 40-minute exam. And that is what makes this topic very, very important. That is why we spend so much time at MockEd. It's one of the longest lessons we do, a daily reading and author's POV, because if you do very well in this particular area, then that is something to really boost your marks. So to give you a perspective, now I got 57 marks in CAT 2023 in verbal. But if I just look at the RC part, I got 15 questions out of 16 questions right there, right? So every correct question gets 3 marks. So 15 into 3, 45 marks minus 1 wrong. So that makes it 44. That 44 marks is actually close to the 85th percentile when it comes to the overall paper, not just verbal. It's way more than 85 in verbal. It is actually around the 85th percentile overall. So RCs, if you prepare well and you do it, then it's going to really boost your overall score, and we have a lot of features to help you out there. So we'll talk about that as well in a little bit. But then coming to DILR, we have 20 questions, 4 cases of 5 questions each. So you need to typically solve an entire case, and then you get all of those 5 questions, right? And we will have more LR cases, more logical reasoning cases. You have the topics here in front of you, and you have it at mockad.com also. And next is data interpretation. Data interpretation, again, while there's going to be a lot of tables and charts and graphs and all, it's not going to be super calculation intensive because the calc is of course there. So again, it's going to be more like interpretative tables, little bit of reasoning will be mixed here as well. And then we come to quant, where we have the most topics, 22 questions. Each question is a standalone question, and it's typically our high school math. There's no calculus, no vector algebra, nothing like that. The most important topics are arithmetic and algebra, and then geometry, and we also have numbers and modern maths. If you want to understand what is this odd one out, what exactly is modern maths, what do you mean by teams and events, just come off here to MockAd and just click on some of the lessons, right? So verbal lessons. I mean, we obviously have a lot more because we're coaching you for all of these exams. So things like grammar and all, they don't come up in CAT, but they do come up in ZAT, SNAP, and MAT and all. But you can just click on, say, jumbled paragraph and get an idea of how it is, right? So here you have a ZAT question and then a CAT question. So you understand how it is. Same thing, you can come and take a look at all of the quant topics, all of the DILR topics, and so on, right? So this is our syllabus, and you'll see that I've structured it starting from what are the topics where we get most questions from, and that is exactly how we will structure our prep also. But before we get into the prep, let's understand out of these 24, 20, 22 questions, how many questions are we really targeting? Now, in our school exams, our college exams, and in a lot of these entrance tests, typically if you have 66 questions, the toppers will be solving maybe somewhere around 60 to 66 questions, right? There are many people who get close to full marks, and in school exams and all, you do have people who get full marks. But CAT is not like that. CAT is very unique, where 99th percentile, where your score is more than 99% of the people taking the exams. Typically, that's been hovering between 40 to 50% of the total marks. Now, I do have a video explaining what is the difference between percentile and percentage, so I'll link that also for you here. But take a look at the marks for CAT 2023. Now, in CAT 2023, out of 198 marks, right? Total 66 questions, 66 into 3, 198 marks. Out of that, remember I was explaining 44 marks, my score in RC to you. That is more than the 85th percentile. That was more than the 85th percentile in 23, right? So if you are getting 42 marks itself, you're getting 85th percentile, which means your score is more than 85% people who took CAT 23, right? And what that does is, for a general candidate with a decent profile, that's getting you calls from these schools with 100% placements and a starting salary of about 12 lakhs a year. Depending on your profile, you might need a little more or a little less. If you're coming to the coveted 99 percentile, however, right, there you're getting calls from most of the top B schools, if not all. For certain profiles, you will need less than 99 percentile. Certain profiles, like say a gem fresher profile and all, you will need more, right? So you could need close to a 99.8 plus. But for most people, 99 percentile is what we are aiming for. And just look at the marks, right? 76 out of 198. The previous year, CAT 22, it was an easier paper, so we needed 84 marks out of 198 marks. And 2021 was easier, it was more of an easy to medium difficulty. And there we needed 97 marks out of 198. But if you look at it, 97, 84, 76, all of this is between 40 to 50% marks. So 40 to 50% marks itself is the 99th percentile, right? Any other exam, and this you would be disappointed. Maybe even, I don't know about you, but if I went home and told my parents that I've got 40% or 50% marks in school, I would have been yelled at like crazy, right? But here, this is cause for celebration. Now, what I've also done is I've also given you the scores that you need to hit these similar percentiles for sections, right? Now, you'll notice that for sections, if you are getting the 99th percentile in all of these, it's way more than the overall 99. And that's because typically people are either really good in one or two sections, right? Or they do well in all three sections, and that is how they get to that 98, 99, 99.5 percentile, right? Another thing you'll see is, if you are getting the 99th percentile in all of the three sections, the marks that you need is way more than overall 99 percentile. And that's because typically we don't get people who are excellent in all three sections. People are either good or very good in all three sections, or what's more likely is you'll be very good in a couple of sections, right? So Vignesh, for example, is getting 99.9 plus percentiles in quant and DILR. That's what's getting him to a 99.98 overall, right? But even without a 99.9, it's say 76 marks, right? For ease of math, I'll take 75. So if you're getting 75 marks, one way to get it is 25 in each section, 25 into 3. The other way is, say you're really good in verbal, right, like me, and you end up getting 40 in the verbal section, then you could get by getting 15 in DILR and 20 in quant, and that's it, right? Or you could get 30, 15, 35 maybe, right? So different variations could be possible. It also depends on the slot that you're in, how easy or hard the different sections are. But it's important to know the sectional marks versus percentiles, because most IIMs, right, have sectional cutoffs. So for general candidates, the sectional cutoff is typically between 70 to 85 percentile. There's only one B school at the moment, IIM Lucknow, which has an 85 percentile sectional cutoff. Most others are 80 or lower. And if you have some reservation category or something like that, it could get even lower, right? But this is a good number to aim at. If you look at it, 6 to 7 questions in verbal, right? 4 to 5 questions in DILR, so which means one DILR case that you're fully getting right, or maybe this is something where you're getting 4 out of the 5 questions, maybe you made a silly mistake in one question or something. And quant again, 3 to 4 questions. That is enough for everybody to meet the cutoffs. For IIM Ahmedabad, the cutoffs are 70 percentile, right? And then what happens is your cutoffs typically end up becoming single digit for DILR and quant, right? So that is important, because those are the minimums that you need to hit. But just the minimums, again, if you're getting 85 in all three sections, that is not enough for us to get the overall high score. So that's what we are targeting. Now, in terms of making a plan, it's important to remember two things. If you've recently started, you're not going to hit these numbers tomorrow or next week. You need to put in the prep, and we'll talk about that, right? And another thing is, at the same time, don't go with this number. CAT 23 was tough, right? So we'll go with something like a 75 to 95 number of sorts, right? So for us to get that, depending on your strengths, you could get something around these scores that I have written. So if your verbal is good, you could target 45 there eventually. If your DILR, you're doing well, you're already able to solve one case, you can definitely build it up 2 cases and get 30 marks and so on, right? So how should you do it, right? Now you have to start with the must prep sections. So first, most important is reading comprehension. As I said, no other topic which is giving us these many questions, which is why the prep also has to be finishing the lesson as well as consistent prep. And I'll talk about that. Then I've given you 4 topics in DILR. this is where we will typically expect to see about 3 cases. Now remember that in DILR, out of 4 cases, if you're solving 1 case, you're clearing the sectional percentiles. And if you're solving 2 cases, typically you're getting anywhere from 95 to 99 percentile, depending on how easy or hard the exam was, right? So these would be very good, so that whatever comes, say you have a DI case around tables or graphs or charts or something, you're finishing it. Numerical reasoning, definitely expect at least 1 case. So these are the areas to prep well. On the quant front, which is where I recommend that in the beginning you spend a lot of time, simply because there are so many lessons when it comes to quant. Arithmetic and algebra, these 14 or 15 topics is where we are getting 12 to 14 questions typically. So these are your must prep and must prep very well lessons. So when it comes to RCs, you should go through our lesson entirely. You should know all of the techniques. DLR, you for every each and every topic here, we will have at least 9 to 10 worked out cases, right? So you should be trying to solve those, having a notebook, trying to figure it out, then seeing how Vignesh is doing it. Similarly, on the quant front, I will be linking a video, a 5-minute video where Vignesh has explained what is the step-by-step process you should follow, and which will get you to a 99 percentile in quant. But definitely you have to start with arithmetic and algebra and go through the lessons, understand the concepts, solve the solved questions, then speed concepts, practice questions, and so on. Once you're fully thorough in these areas, then we come to the good to prep regions. Summary is something which is in similar lines with RC. If you're practicing the author's POV for RC, the author's point of view, that's going to help you a lot in summary as well. And then you have the summary lesson. So that will be the next thing. Venn diagrams for DILR, and next will be geometry for quant. Once these are done and these are again done well, then you have the sections where you're getting fewer questions, but you should definitely go through it so that if there's any easy question, you are finishing it. Now you might be wondering that summary is also 2 questions, sentence insertion, jumbled paragraph, odd one out is also 2 questions. So why am I putting that ahead? That's because it takes a similar skill set to solve RC and summary questions. So if you're done with RC, you're doing the daily POV, summary is something which will come easily to you and you can finish off that lesson and the questions quickly. You need a different sort of skill set for sentence insertion, jumbled paragraphs, and odd ones out. And there you need to learn a lot of different techniques, and my lessons there sort of go hand in hand. So certain techniques given in sentence insertion will also help you in jumbled paragraphs and so on. Now coming to the remaining sections, the rest of DILR, you should make sure that you're finishing it off again the same way as I mentioned it. And then on the quant front, numbers and modern maths, where again we will expect some questions. So how do you make the best use of MockCat to finish off these topics, right? So I'll start with what we have on the website and then the classes. Now website, we have our learn, practice, complete, which are our main sections. So you can come here, you have learn, practice, and then complete. So let's say quant, we are starting with arithmetic, for example, right? So you have your lessons here, right? You have the video here, which might not be playing now, and then you have all your text as well with solved examples. There's a bunch of modules, and the reason for that is even if you have 15-16 minutes, you can look to finish one module, right? And the way to do it is, please go through the video, not just the text, and whenever there's a question, you need to pause the video, try to solve it yourself without seeing the solution, and then watch the video and see how Vignesh has solved it. In the beginning, if you don't remember some of the concepts, you could initially just see how he's solving it, but please have pen and paper, make sure you're noting down the concepts, make sure that you're sort of like solving these questions out and so on. Bookmark any sections, any areas where you have any doubt, and do come off to the classes. It doesn't matter. So if it's an algebra class, also in the open doubt clearing, you can ask arithmetic questions. We don't finish the class till every doubt is clarified. So make sure you get your doubts clarified. Right now, I'm not going too much into how you are prepping for quant, because again we have a separate video which I am linking for you. But the most important parts which you need: your quant lesson, your concept revision, which is what is going to help you to ensure that you know all of the concepts, right? And it's also something which is helpful for revision. Say if you're finishing arithmetic in July, right? By the time September comes, you might have forgotten some of it. So you're not going to go through 2 or 3 hour videos, right? But you can definitely finish a 13-minute or 20-minute, 30-minute video, right? So this is how you revise. And then next, of course, most important is your speed concepts. Before I get to speed concepts, you have practice questions out here, which are split as easy, medium, and difficult or hard, right? So you start with this and go on. And again, you can bookmark, you can ask your doubts to us. You will have an upwards timer. So you won't have like a downward timer that you have to solve it in 2 minutes, but the system will also be tracking your time so that you can get an idea which areas you need to get faster. And then you have things like speed math and speed quant, which will help you to improve your speed. And then of course we have our 25 CAT mocks, 45 CAT style sectionals, and the OMEDs, which are nothing but your ZAT, SNAP, mocks, and so on, right? So that's the mainstay. And then you have this unique feature, which is the speed concepts. Speed concepts, not Mathacon. Speed concepts is what is helping you sort of just understand whether you actually know the concepts and you are able to solve it, right? So you'll have questions like these, right? And you got to solve it, and then you go for your answer. Again, there's no time limit, so you can take your time and make sure you should try to get it right? And you keep going on. Now, at the end of it, the aim is to get scores like these, not this. If you're in the green, right, then you know that any quant question which comes up from these topics, you will be able to solve it in the exam. The similar thing which we have on the verbal front is the daily POV. Now, when it comes to verbal, right, RC is something which all of us have done, right? All of us have had reading comprehension passages in school. But what we've had in school, we largely have direct questions, easier passages. Here, what's going to happen is we're going to be having passages which are from overseas origin, which are from diverse genres. So you're going to have science, history and all, but you will also have philosophy, psychology, art, ethics and so on. So we need to read from these sources. We need to get comfortable with all of these genres or topics. But most important is the questions that we're going to get are not direct. They're going to be something like, which one of the following, if true, will strengthen the author's view? Which one of the following, if false, will undermine the author's point or the point made in the third paragraph? Which one of the following will undermine the example in the third paragraph? Which of the following solutions would the author support? Again, these solutions will not be given in the passage. So for that, you've got to understand the author's view. So how do you do it? First, the lessons are going to help you. So the RC lesson is one of the longest lessons that we have. You're going to start with the lesson, understand how to sort of get the author's POV, how to read it. Most important module here in 4.1 is module 4, where I've given you a lot of techniques about what to focus on, what keywords and things like that. How do you identify the author's view? Once you do that, then the next thing is going to be coming to the author's POV module, right? And here I've explained what it is, why is it important, and I've given you a lot of solved examples. So once you do that, then you come to the daily POV section. You view an article, you use the techniques to write out your own POV. Then once you're done, you check your POV, balance it with mine, right? If you're finding, okay, you know what, 14 minutes politics, this is a little hard, let me go for something which is maybe a little easier, right? So you can start with any article. If that day's article is hard for you, you could potentially start with any article and compare your POV with mine. Another thing which you have alongside, the practice questions, speed concepts and so on is the daily quizzes. So every day you will have a couple of daily 15-minute quizzes, 15-20 minutes, so that, if you have a little bit of time also, you are putting in the prep. You also have, other daily news. On the speed front, you have speed math, speed vocab, speed quant and so on. Now coming to the classes. Now for those of you who are in the unlimited pack, you will have access to regular one-on-one sessions with us, typically, weekly or fortnightly, where based on what you have prepared, maybe based on your mock performance and analysis, and based on how much time you have, we're going to be telling you that for the next 1 week or 10 days, this is what you're going to do. I'm going to start with something like that. I'm going to tell you what you're going to do for your next 1 week and 10 days in this video. And then from there on, you actually attend these sessions. You can let us know of your difficulties. Hey, last time I did this, but still I'm not able to solve these questions. Or next week, I don't have too much time, or I didn't get a good score in the mock. What do I do? Right? So you have that access and we will help you to craft a plan. The reason for this, what we've seen is, if we give people a 5-month plan or a 12-month plan, one, people could panic saying, oh, there's so much, how do I finish it off? Or people could procrastinate saying, hey, I have quite a bit of time, let me start from Sunday, let me start from tomorrow. So when you have a 1-week plan, you have a clear goal and target to finish. Next thing, live classes. Live class is something which is available irrespective of whether you're in the unlimited or the classroom pack, as are these things. All of the website access is there for both. It is the one-on-one interaction and mentorship, sending me the POVs and getting mock one-on-one mock discussions and all, which is the added benefit that you have that makes the unlimited pack the most popular. But back to this, live classes. Live classes you will have typically anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week, depending on where you are. Closer to CAT, of course, we'll typically be having classes every day. One major benefit that you have here is the classes are all interactive. You can unmute and ask your doubts while we are live solving questions. We have open doubt clearing where you can bring in any doubts. It can be, for example, from the verbal perspective. Even if I'm having a summary class, you could have an RC doubt. It could be an article that week where you have a doubt. Maybe you didn't understand it. You didn't get the POV. Maybe it's an outside out. You just happen to be reading some article or you're solving a question from somewhere else that you found on WhatsApp or Telegram, but you want to ask us. All doubts are welcome. We will not be ending the class till you finish off the doubts. And all of these doubts are live and interactive, right? You're talking to me or Vignesh and getting it, right? So you don't want to put anything in the chat or anything like that. So please do take advantage of it. Some of the best students who've got through top B schools, IIMs and all have been students who might not have had doubts, but they stayed till the end and they learned even from others' doubts, right? You will have recordings of the classes as well. Should you miss any class where you have the lessons, you also have the live class recordings that you can go through. Another thing you'll have is the live mock strategy, right? So you'll be taking the mock, you'll be analyzing it. There's a detailed video where we explain how to take it, what marks to target depending on where you are, and how to analyze it. So you do that, you watch the video solutions and all, and then you come and we tell you as 99.9 plus percentilers what is the strategy that we would follow, and also what is the strategy which will work for a 99 percentile, right? Or at any levels. And any doubts you have, hey, I missed an easy case, or verbal didn't go well, so I got a little nervous in TILR, or whatever it is that you're facing, you can ask us. Then you can get a good strategy from us for the next mock depending on your strengths. And of course, if you have any doubts in any question or something like that, you could ask those also. Right. Another thing which is there for those of you who are from the unlimited pack is you will get access to Vignesh and me for any sort of mentorship. So again, this can be something like, you finished the target for this week, you want to go a little extra, or you didn't get a great score over the last mock, or anything that you want to discuss one-on-one with us, you can reach out to us and you have that access and you get that guidance, right? So what do you start with now? Now, first and foremost is make sure that you have registered onto the website. Of course, you would have done that, but you're also on all of the Telegram groups and channels. So you'll have your main group where you will be getting any important messages from us. You will be getting the class invites and so on. Now, if you go to the description of this group, you will have a couple more things, right? You will have the prep schedule, where you get to know what are the classes which are happening so that you can prepare along with that. So, okay, so tomorrow is, algebra, for example, let me go through this lesson, or you look at it over the weekends and say, these are the topics which are there. So this is what I need to prepare. You also have access to two more groups. One is the verbal group where we will be sending a reading link, and then we will also be sending the point of view for that. And this is where I recommend you do the POV. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. You also get, one of the news articles. We typically put up 5 curated news articles every day. So you get one of that which you can go through. And you also have the doubt clearing group where you can post doubts. If you don't want to wait till the evening, till the class, for example, you can just post a doubt here for a faster text response. So just make sure that, you're there in all of these, right? You will have all of these links in the description itself. There are also some pinned messages where, some more things like the quant concept checklist and things like that, which are given as pinned messages. So this is sort of almost your step 0 of sorts. Now, the first thing which you should do is RCs, right? Very important, most important topic. So start off with the RC lesson, and I'm asking you to go in a slightly different way, right? Start off with RC1 and finish this off. Like I said, module 4 and 6 are the most important over here. Make sure you're noting down the techniques wherever you have a question. Now, whichever type of whether it is verbal or quant or TILR, whatever you are preparing, if you have a question, please pause the video, read it, try to solve it yourself, then go back to watching the video. Now, once you're done with the 4.1 lesson, instead of going to 4.2, next thing you've got to do is 4.3. In 4.3, the first video is going to tell you what is POV, how to do it. It was not something we said in school, right? Author's point of view is something, it's a term which I came up with, right? So a lot of people will say things like key message or crux or something like that. Here we are deliberately focusing on the author's view versus somebody else's view. So you will have a video initially helping you understand what it is, and then you have a lot of solved examples. So don't go through this video. First, make sure to read this article, use the techniques that you've learned in 4.1 and 4.3 first module. Try to find the POV yourself. Then what you do is you compare your POV with mine, and then you watch the video. Now, if you feel that, how can I click on these? I'm going to be tempted a bit. In the study plan itself, we have put all of these links. Now, we already have about nine of these and across genres, and we continuously keep adding. So by the time you join, maybe there are more. So you can click on these and you can just read from here and then come to the video. Now that this is done, once you finish these lessons, and goes without saying, please ask me any doubts that you have while reading. The next thing is going to be the daily reading. So Monday to Friday, you're going to be getting reading links like these. What you need to do is just click whenever you have time, just click on this, read it, try to figure out the POV. If you are in the unlimited pack, you can actually send the POV to me, right? Like a bunch of students have done, and you end up getting feedback from me. You're not waiting till the evening. If there's something wrong, I will tell you, right? So for the first 1, 2, 3 months, as long as you need, I'll sort of work with you, right? For those of you who are not in that group, that's all right. You will still get the POV here and you can go for it. Now, let's say you're reading an article and you say that, okay, it's an Aeon article. It's something which is, which seems abstract, which is about a topic I don't understand. It's really long. I've read 3 paragraphs. I'm not getting it. That's all right. Just come to the website, go to the daily POV section. Say we already have 350 plus articles. All you need to do is, in the beginning, for the first 1 or 2 months, I would recommend filter by like easy and medium, right? And just choose another article. So whatever you like, just choose another article. You can go back somewhere, you can find anything, right? And just read that again. Even if you're doing something which is a little bit older, you can still send the POV to me and I will guide you. If you can do the same days, do it. If not, you can just pick up something in the past. Once you've prepared for 2 to 3 months, another thing which will happen is, especially if you're taking mocks, you get to know which genres you're good at and which genres maybe you need to prepare a little more. So if you analyze and realize that, economics and ethics are the ones where I need to prep a little more, you can filter for these and you can read more about these articles, right? So that's going to be the first thing that you do. In parallel, you can also start off on Quant. Quant, I'm going to give you 2 recommendations. First thing, of course, is to watch the video that I've linked here. It's also there in the description. And then you can either start with arithmetic and algebra, where we get the most questions, or you can just follow the daily prep schedule. So whatever class is there this week, you could just go through that lesson and so on, right? Anything is fine. Once you have done the RC lesson 4.1, 4.3, you've done at least 2-3 quant lessons and you build this momentum, then you start off with the DILR lessons. Start with the LR lessons, and same way you will have, let's say, numerical reasoning, very important lesson. You'll have a lot of solved examples. So maybe the first 2-3 you can see how Vignesh is doing it, but with pen and paper noting down. And moment you feel you're ready, and immediately also you can do it, read the question, try to solve it yourself, and then you watch the video. Even if you're getting the answers, make sure to watch the video because he's a 99.9 plus percentile, right? He could have a quicker or a better way. So that's how you do it. Verbal and quant first, and then DILR. And throughout these, you'll typically be having live classes anywhere from 3 to 5 or 3 to 6 days a week. So make sure to come, participate, ask doubts, take advantage of this, right? Ask us any doubts that you sort of have, right? Whether it's about that lesson or anything else. And lastly, depending on when you've joined, if it's any time around April or later, then we would have started mocks, right? So if you're joining today, for instance, this week we are taking up a particular mock. So whichever mock is being taken that week, take that mock. See, the mocks are not in increasing difficulty or anything like that. You can take any mock, right? Different mocks will be different. So just start off with whichever mock is being discussed that week so that you can come to the test taking strategy session. If you feel that, I've forgotten a lot of maths, I don't think I'll be able to, do an RC properly, I want to prepare. Take 1 to 2 weeks to prepare and then take whichever mock is being discussed that week. You don't need to finish off all of the lessons and then go for the mocks. CAT is about concepts and test taking strategy. When in this exam, 40 to 50% marks is getting us 99 percentile, right? That means 2 things. One, people who are even getting 90, 100% marks in their 10th, even though the syllabus is like 2/3 of the syllabus is similar to what we've done in school, still we are not able to get to that score, right? Vignesh, nobody is getting to that score, not even the 100 percentile. So we need to prepare in a certain way. The test strategy is important. Another thing, of course, is when I'm targeting 40 to 50% marks, I'm not trying to solve all the questions. I'm not trying to do the questions sequentially. So there's a lot that goes into the test strategy also. Because we have a separate mock video, I'm not getting in depth into this now. You're welcome to watch it after this. But start off taking mocks early. Whichever areas you have prepared or whichever questions seem easy, just go for it. Now we come to what are the free resources for those of you where you've just joined, or maybe you've just taken up a mock pack or something. What are the things which you will have? Now when it comes to verbal, the author's POV, this 4.3 lesson, that is something which you have. So if you come to the daily POV section, you'll see that there are a few videos over here. You can actually watch these same way that I explained, and then you could start off on this. This is something unique which we have. And this itself, I've seen a lot of students use this to increase their score 2x, 3x and get to that 90, 98, 99, even 99.5, 99.8 sort of percentiles. Quant, you will get a speed concept every day. Same thing for all of the speed modules, you will typically get 1 to 2 tests a day. So you can check it out. This is the one which we feel is the most important. So verbal, for example, you'll have vocabulary and grammar. Speed quant, you will have practice questions which you can take up. But speed concepts is where we feel we add the most value, because this is where your concept knowledge is being tested. Daily quizzes, you will always have today's and yesterday's quizzes which are available. So that is something which you can try. Some of these will be free, so you can take a look. And news, right? So when it comes to the interview, one of the things which comes up is current affairs, especially relevant current affairs. So those who start reading the news early are the ones who will sort of gain, right? And also depending on your profile. So say, for example, you're coming from a commerce background, definitely things around the economy you should know. If you are coming from, say, an engineering background, something like Make in India becomes important, something like laptops could potentially be important, and so on. So you could start with something which is interesting or something which is relevant and look to build up. This is of course true for our regular students as well. Anybody who starts this, so start your prep, get the momentum. When you feel you have time, you can start with one news article and build from there. Speed I already spoke about. You will also have a couple of mocks which are free, and you could take that as well. Once you've taken the mock, definitely you can use the dashboard and the analytics and all which are there to help you see what are the areas that you need to prep more of. So that's it from me. There's a lot of resources which are listed in the description or which have been linked here. So make the best use of that. Reach out to us anytime and let's get you through a top B school.